Welcome back. Welcome back to Recovering from Everything, a podcast for everyone who has ever had anything happen to them ever. I'm going to be real with you guys. I think my plant, can you see it? It's, I think it's doing a little too well. Like it's not that it's not doing well. It's really tall and it's curving like that because I have to lean it against my wall. I don't know what to do with it. I've chopped it and like reappropriated it, whatever, so many times. I don't know what to do. Anyways, also you can see this is like one of my favorite paintings. Um, I forget what it's called. I just call it absinthe because I think she's like that's what she's drinking. And I'm pretty sure if you like just Google absinthe, you'll see it's Edgar Degas, I believe. Could be wrong. DM me if I'm wrong. Anyways, I love, 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 love this painting. She is just blitzed out of her mind sitting in a cafe. That's what it's called. Dans le cafe, maybe? In the cafe? Don't quote me on anything. Anything that gets said in here, don't quote me on it. Um, but I've had that for so long. And then like I don't know if she knows that guy next to her or if they like are just drinking buddies or total strangers, or maybe that's her husband, but she's obviously like he painted her expression so great. She's out of her mind wasted. And the guy next to her looks honestly a little bit more coherent than she does, but just women, drunk women are my life, right? Like there it is. Anyways, so if you meet me ever one day, you'll see that in the background. I think the second thing I had to be real with you about was I know I look perfectly composed, but I am very much in sweatpants right now, and that's the way it's going to stay. I have created a life where I don't need to wear real pants ever again if I so desire. So I'm in sweatpants. Welcome back. I have a bit of a ranty episode today. Um, what is going on is we're going to talk about something high functioning women really need to hear. Your healing is going to be faster, safer, and more effective when you're surrounded by women who live lives like yours. Not in a mismatched room of strangers with nothing in common except alcohol. Let's talk about why that matters. I told you it was going to be a little bit ranty. So, this is just based on some of the conversations I've had with women lately, where we're so indoctrinated, just like by movies and uh, I don't know, society, to be like, okay, there's like you have to get sober, okay, and I hear myself knowing that I am a sober woman, um, but I do it because I love it, so not because I have to. Um, but we hear like a few things. You need to get sober. I need to quit drinking, right? And the way that you do that is through AA, rehab, or therapy. Okay, which some of you already know my opinions on these things for the high functioning woman. Oh my God, who is like just, has lost control of her drinking. Um, let's just start with AA is not built for you, listener. Okay. AA has helped a lot of people, myself included. I love AA. It is not built for women like us. So it wasn't built for career women, professionals, mothers, women with mortgages, retirees with travel plans, high income earners, perfectionists, high achievers, women with perfect lives on paper. AA was created in the 1930s for unemployed men drinking themselves to death. Okay, different era, different people, different problems. Um, do you know how hard it is to get something changed in AA? Like I did the AA thing and I was like in it. I did service. I was very, very in it. Um, It is nearly impossible to get even like a whisper, a letter changed in AA. So, mm, no, nothing's been updated. And yes, the big book is still the one that they released in the 30s. So different era, different problems to the max. But your issue isn't rock bottom, it's high functioning overuse of alcohol. So you're not losing jobs, you're not getting DUIs, you're not waking up in alleys, okay? You're waking up at 3 a.m. with shame and a headache, and you're going to Pilates at 9, and you're answering emails at 11, and nobody knows you're struggling. 12-step AA does not understand that dynamic. They don't go anywhere near it. So when women like you walk into an AA room, it feels like wrong crowd, wrong vibe, wrong energy, wrong problems, wrong solutions. And that mismatch matters.
Second thing, I want to say something honest. It's hard to open up about your drinking when you feel like you have to apologize for the quality of your life first. So many of my clients have said, I didn't feel safe sharing how good my life is. I felt guilty bringing up my real struggles. I felt like I needed to tone myself down. I didn't want to trigger anyone. And that's valid, but it means you're masking if you can't show up honestly because you feel too privileged, too successful, or too put together. You're not in the right room. Healing requires honesty, and you can't be honest if you're shrinking yourself. The third thing, one thing my clients love about my program, the Self Control Solution, is that they are surrounded by peers who get nuance. You don't have to explain anxiety, perfectionism, overthinking, the mental load, resentment, the pressure of being the strong one, performing, shame about having no valid reason to drink the way you do. We don't have to explain any of that. We all just get those nuances. High functioning women understand each other in a specific way that people from totally different backgrounds simply can't. It's not elitist, it's realistic. I don't want a neurosurgeon in group coaching with a guy who got court ordered to AA for punching a hole in his drywall. You know, those are really different worlds. Those are really different worlds. Um, Also, the fourth thing, like safety matters. So safety isn't just about physical safety, it's emotional safety also, obviously, for women. Um, this is a big one. So women tell me all the time, I felt safer in the self-control solution, immediately, than anywhere else in the world. Women have told me things that they've never shared with anyone. They've told their, little sisterhood things that they haven't shared outside of the rooms. They felt, I wasn't judged. Nobody minimized my problems. I didn't feel like I had to justify why I wanted to change my drinking. And you can't open up when you're tense. You can't change when you're really guarded. You can't grow when you're comparing yourself to people with totally different lives. Like-minded women create emotional safety because they understand the pressures you're under. They've lived similar lives, they carry similar responsibilities, and they get the shame that you're carrying. They understand that, and that's priceless. Another sort of important piece is that you don't have to dim yourself with us. That was, one of the big things in going to any type of like free support group, whether it's like a Facebook group or in an app or whatever, is like we were saying, you have to sort of dim yourself sometimes, or you feel like you can't necessarily share the quality of your life. But one of the biggest reasons that women love this community is they don't have to dim anything, not their success, not their family, not their home, not their money, not their career, not their story. So you don't have to pretend your life is worse than it is to fit in. You don't have to apologize for being privileged and struggling. You don't have to minimize your pain because someone else's pain looks different. You get to walk in fully, drinking problem at all, without guilt, apology, or shrinking. My women can say things like, I drank wine at 3 p.m. out of boredom. I drink because I'm retired and lonely. I hate how much I rely on it. No one knows. And every other woman nods because they get it, because she just said something really similar to what's going on in their own lives. So a couple quick client examples. Let me change names here for a second. Lynn, okay, retired, bored, drinking at 3 p.m. Or Lisa, the over functioning, anxious achiever. Carla, the perfectionist who thought she should have known better. Like three very different lives, but the same emotional core. Too much pressure, too much responsibility, no emotional outlet, drinking to cope quietly. And that shared understanding creates an instant connection. It's like, going to a foreign country and stepping off the plane and hearing someone who speaks your language. Like it's that, oh, yay. Also an important part of any type of healing path or healing institution, I suppose, is you need women who lift you, not shame you. And a lot of 12 step, a lot of like abstinence based recovery programs, maybe not intentionally, but shame ends up being like a really big motivator. I know in my time in AA, I would see people picking up I picked up my chips. And that first one, the like 24-hour one, the newcomer, the I'm just starting this journey, or I'm just like restarting this journey. So after like a relapse, which if you know how much I hate that word, I think I did a whole episode on it. But after a relapse, they would go and pick up this chip again, and they would like start their clock again. So it's this very like everyone claps for you, and it's a very like proud sort of illusion. But like people talk shit. Okay, people talk shit about you, and they'll say things like, "Oh, did you hear? You know, Glinda went back out," and you're like, okay. So my time in AA, shame kept me going. And it's a great motivator in that it will motivate you. Not sustainable. You can't hate yourself and do good things for yourself at the same time for long. You know what I mean? And so oopsie daisy, a lot of AA rooms use shame as a motivator. And a lot of like mixed experience rooms can re-traumatize women. I mean, like women don't want to open up in a room of other men. It's not a thing. And so my program is, takes all of those sort of ideas and where women feel safe enough to be real. And my program does the total opposite. We do accountability without humiliation, right? Like we don't use the word relapse. Some women don't want to quit drinking. Like abstinence is not their goal. And their drinking sort of experiences or events, if they are remarkable in some way, if they bring them to us to share and talk about it, and like I'm always like, how do you feel about that? How do you feel that that went? If it's great, I felt super in control. I felt amazing, amazing. If it's like, no, I definitely overdid it, and I'm feeling a little bit crummy, we look at, there's no, I always say to them, there's no fails. There's only data. Like we're literally just mining data. Every experience will have information in there that is like useful to us. So we like mine the data of that experience, and we see what she could practically do differently in the future. But then there's also the aspect of like the experience of, let's say they overdrank, or let's say they drank after a period of not drinking. So we can take that experience and sort of put it aside and look at, okay, well, what did you do after that? Were you compassionate with yourself? Were you really like not kind to yourself? Like, how did you treat yourself after the event happened? And it's Gabor Mate that kind of taught me this, is that the trauma isn't necessarily in the experience of something happening. It's what happens after. Were these people given support and love? And so that's what we look at. Like, how did you hold space for yourself after? What did you say to yourself? How did you treat yourself? And if it's like, yes, I overdrank, but I really like, was really kind to myself, and I just gave myself a lot of love, and like I fed myself good food, and I, made a hot tea and took a bath and just like really let myself like decompress, because I knew that I would be feeling very guilty and very shameful normally. Then that becomes a win. So, and I know it's like a fine balance between like, oh, well, oh, I got drunk, but then I was like really nice to myself the next day. It's not that, because my women are on a very specific path in that they want to reduce the harm that they do to their bodies with alcohol. And part of reducing the harm that they do with alcohol is reducing the harm in other ways, self-talk, food, whatever, right? So they don't, it's not about finding loopholes to get drunk. Why would they have paid all this money to work with me if they just want to get drunk? Go get drunk. Give me a shout in a couple months, right? So anyways, that's what accountability, that's how, as opposed to like, abstinence versus relapse, and starting your timer again, it's like, what data can we mine, and how can we compare how you're doing now versus what you used to be like, and et cetera, et cetera. So, okay. So that's a really long-winded way of saying accountability without humiliation, honesty without judgment, respect without hierarchy. There's women that have been there longer or have done more assignments or whatever, but they all end up inspiring each other in some way. And it's so beautiful because they have so much in common. Community without chaos. You would think like getting a bunch of gals together in like a community situation might be like, like Mean Girls or like high school or whatever, but it's like love. Like it is a sisterhood. And, the women know that no matter what they do or say or have done or said, it's like at least one of us, myself included in that room, is like, oh yeah, no, I've done that. Like, oh my gosh, no, I totally get it. I get it. So, I think you're not a project. You're not a number. You're not a case file. You're a whole woman with a whole life, and you deserve support that matches your life. So, in conclusion, and also because I always plug my program because it's the fucking best thing ever. If you have been trying to do this alone, or you've been in the complete wrong rooms, or with people who don't actually understand you, it's not you, it's the environment. You need a community of women who understand your life, your brain, your habits, your pressures, your schedule, and your version of functioning. And that's exactly what my program, the Self-Control Solution, gives you. And so I vet each woman and I finally curate our group. Again, you knew I was going to plug my program. So thanks for listening to another episode of Recovering from Everything, a podcast for anyone who's ever had anything happen to them ever, including the unique hell of pretending you relate in a room full of people whose lives look nothing like yours. Go where the women match you, not where you have to shrink to fit. Love you. See you soon.